Hold on.
Good evening, everybody. Good morning, wherever time you're listening. But if you are live with us, you are it. All right. It is a new episode of the Three Amigos Podcast with the greatest podcast team known to man, the Three Amigos. Now, nonetheless, Brandom Thought is not here this evening. And, I'm going to try my best, as I did a week before last, to anchor the show for the evening. But, of course, I am the bum of them all, Black Ultimate Man. Yours truly, MashOut King, a.k.a. Mr. High Profile, enemy and God, like Brandom Thought would say. But nonetheless, I'm going to introduce the other two gentlemen that's on the show this evening. Now, to my right or my left, depending on how you're looking, I want to shout out and let him do his own intro. Big Daddy Cool, SourDeez.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? It's me, and it's you that I'm here to entertain. Um, First things first, inflation is up and I need to smoke. Okay. Um, I am the guy. I am the man of the hour. I'm the man of the year. I am the 5+5 champion.
I know that's
I
right.
am I am 5 times 2 the champion. I am 9+1 the champion. If we put it together, folks, that's 10. 10 times. New York State Park Wrestling Alliance champion.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I am the lyrical miracle spiritual nigga. Whatever. Brandon puts in the rundown for when he calls me out. Okay.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing at 6'6", not 6'4". It's SourDeez.
I'm very confused because you keep going up another inch because I thought it was 6'5". Like, so I'm just like very confused here.
Let me tell you something. Anybody,
He's an anomaly.
Any tall person out there would know. When we go and get our physicals, they do not check our heights. So listen, I'm just giving you the guessing game, okay?
You're the first person I know that kayfabes their height. So last but certainly not least, all right, our brother from another mother, Masquerade Cam. Go ahead.
Let's go, people. All right, so hey, I'm here, just doing my thing. You know what I mean? I got all these monikers, all these things. I'm just Cam, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm an actor, an editor, a teacher, a coach, a writer, producer, entertainer, all these wonderful, beautiful things. You know what I mean? But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm just humble and down to earth. So let's get it rolling, baby.
All right. So everybody introduce themselves. So now we got a lot to get to in a very short period of time. Now, nonetheless, we're gonna start with the Turnbuckle Talk. Now, I'm so proud of myself that I didn't say turntable. I'm so proud of myself, ladies and gentlemen.
I was setting it up. I was like,
all right. So I got a few stories to get to this evening, and the first one I want to jump right into is CM Punk is refrained from talking about AEW due to the multiple NDAs that he had signed with AEW. Fellas, what's your thought on that?
Smart move
interesting.
on AEW's side.
It's a smart move. It's the best. It's a good move to do because let's just do what's best for business, right? We know where you came from. We know the story. We done heard it for the 2 summers. We don't need to hear that. And WWE just shows their way. They show their way. They are classy businessmen, right? At times they can be petty. So we're not gonna throw that out there like that's not gonna happen because somewhere down the line we will get some petty, right? But it was the best move for them to do. We don't want to hear about that. I feel like what happened over there with him in AEW, it overshadows who CM Punk is and what he can do in the ring. So knock that out the gate. We ain't doing that here. You know what we do over here is straight business, it's straight entertainment. We're gonna give the fans what they want, and that's how it should be.
And just to piggyback off what you're saying, also do you really want to give them promo? Because even when you speak about the competition, positive or negative, like you're giving them promo.
Right.
So who wants that on their television product anyway? And I will say one thing. I can't remember anybody that actually acknowledges AEW's existence at all on WWE television. I don't know anyone that actually says anything in regards to
it has been referenced a few times. Right. Sami Zayn was the first person to ever say AEW on WWE.
We can talk about AEW.
Roman referenced it when he was cutting promos on Cody's ass. Right?
Oh,
he didn't say AEW. He was like, you couldn't get over in the own company that you built. Right? And then he was like, you came over here. Oh, well, I guess you're over now, right? And so like he made those references, but like I think it would just be I don't think CM Punk would be like saying AEW, but he would make references probably. But if even in a reference, how could they like, I guess, NDA penalize him over it? You know what I mean?
We don't need that. We don't need that from CM Punk on a WWE show because.
But it might not be CM Punk. It might be whoever he gets in a feud, but they may cut his ass like Roman did, right? And then he may not be able to really like rebuttal about it.
I know, but we're staying on topic as far as like CM Punk mentioning them. So what I'm saying is like CM Punk has a powerful fucking voice, and over the years that what has been happening to him, I'm quite sure he's like the most searched talent there is right now, right? So him saying them right now. He don't need that. He don't need that. You off on a clean slate. Don't mention them guys. We ain't gonna give them no promo. We don't need to know nothing about what happened over there. We want to get you right where you need to be, and that's what WWE does. They know how to create stars. They know how to make you a star, and that's what they're gonna do. CM Punk, they drop the ball on you over there. We're gonna get you where you need to be and what you need to do. You want to finish your story. This is where you want to finish this at. Let's do it.
Finish the story though. CM Punk got a story to finish.
CM Punk does have a story to finish. He need a main event WrestleMania. He needs his ice cream bars. Okay? He needs to be in the segments of the opening show when we see CM Punk. He needs those things.
But then also my question is, does AEW need the promo? I mean, do they need that type of heat against them from everything that's going on right now with them in terms of people walking out the door and leaving?
Does it matter?
Think about it.
Because AEW never fucking capitalizes or for anything they have going for them. Nothing. So it wouldn't even fucking matter if CM Punk did mention them and gave them the promo. They ain't gonna do nothing with it. It's gonna be a promo. CM Punk, that's all it's gonna be. CM Punk gonna cut a promo, mention AEW, and guess what? This coming Wednesday, guess what's gonna happen? Tony Khan has a fucking big announcement to make. That is it, and that is all. And hey Tony, I'm still waiting for this new era you said that we're gonna be in. I don't see it yet.
I don't think he knows what it is. I don't think he honestly knows what the new era is. I think the new era was Edge, and that didn't work out. So
I think when he said new era,
the old era is now new. They rated our era.
No, it was era he was talking about was ERROR, not ERA.
Touche, I like that one.
Good one.
All right. Next up to bat. So I want to read this quote from the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Okay. I am so tired of hearing all this negativity. I don't need to work and I don't need the money. Can I simply enjoy being my dear friend Stinger's side for the next few months without so much hatred? I know I'm old, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy life. I have earned the right to do whatever I want, and I'm exactly where I want to be. I appreciate everything, Tony Khan, but I'm more than willing to walk away if I'm embarrassing you and your company. All I can say is I'm sorry. Quote, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Masquerade Cam.
Wait, that was to Tony Khan or that's to people on the internet?
Everyone. That's to everyone.
Well, let them know the feedback of on why he said on why he's saying this.
Well, a lot of people is believing that he should not be there, that he's taking TV time from younger talent, and that he must need a check. Now, as we know that he has the you know uh, the marijuana company now that's making him money. I know he's doing that with Hulk Hogan and also Mike Tyson. So they say that he's saying that he's making a ton of money doing that. But his version of the story is he enjoys just coming to work. He likes to be around the wrestling product. He's not looking to get into the ring. He just wants to be there.
Right.
Right.
You know,
I mean,
Cam.
I guess, we not old yet. You know what I mean? So maybe being at the house, retired, is lonely. He's troublesome. There's a lot of older folks who need to find something to do when they hit retirement, and that's probably what it is. And you don't know nothing else but the world of wrestling. So, I mean, as long as he's not harming anybody, I don't see any problem in it. If Tony Khan has the budget and the check to cut him a check every week for just showing up and being a nostalgia act, then by all means, let him do it. His WWE Legend deal was up, and he's now doing something else somewhere else. I don't think he needs money. I mean, he has several endorsements. If you look him up, he has several deals or whatever that he got going on. He got that was the car insurance commercial or whatever that commercial that runs, right? He got that apparently the energy drink, the weed thing. He has something else that I know about, but I can't quite remember. I mean, look, why do we care about what lines of old white man's pockets? You know what I mean? If he's going to just not harm nobody, not harm himself, let him live. And if there was some kind of like problem in the backstage with the talent, you know what I mean, or with Tony Khan, then they need to handle that in house or whatever the case is.
It's funny you say that. So it's like, to me, it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen another. Because is it good to see Ric Flair? Absolutely, right? But I do agree that he doesn't need any television time over AEW talent that needs the television time, right? And I'm just trying to figure out what would be the purpose of him actually still being there after Stinger's gone. Because they signed him to a multi-year deal. So what is he going to be getting younger talent over? Is he going to be like how he was in his latter days in Legacy? Like, I'm just trying to, I'm not Legacy.
You mean Evolution?
Evolution. His latter days in Evolution, where he's playing the manager's role. I'm very interested to know where exactly this is going. Big Daddy Cool.
Let me kick it. Let me kick it. Well, okay. So the reason why for Ric Flair making that statement this past week was because recent episode of Dynamite, he cut a promo and he mentioned every girl from 18 to 28 come see your big old Ricky, which had Sting visibly mad. So that's why he cut it. That's why he made that apology. And I feel like there's no other place in entertainment but probably wrestling where the fans stick it to you the most, right? We know what Rick did. Was it right? No, it wasn't. How many years it happened ago? A very long time ago.
We're talking about the plane ride from hell.
The plane ride from hell. And the thing I don't like about people is because they act so fucking oblivious. He's been showing you who the fuck he was his whole entire career. So when he do something now, you're mad at him with it. He's a fucking human. People of the world, we are human. We do shit. We do things. We go through them. We learn from them and move the fuck on. Let this man be. Let him be great. Let him do what he needs to do. Leave that man alone. Ric Flair done gave so much to this business. I think he should live the way he ought to live, right? And as far as him being here in AEW right now, I don't know. I really hope to see that he don't wrestle there, but I would like to see him put talents over. I have several talents in mind that he should work with. Ricky Starks being one of them. There go your AEW evolution right there. Get your award low. I can't think of two others right now, but
No,
those
but
two right
I
now sounds
understand.
really good to me.
I understand, but then at the end of the day now, so you're saying that after Stinger is done at AEW Revolution, that Brick should move on into the Evolution role as the manager,
Yeah,
for the younger talent.
managerial. Cause first of all, Tony, let's get this straight. Every person you done signed from the past, or maybe somewhere in the present, they didn't do anything. Let let you actually sign someone and you actually utilize them for their knowledge and what they have to offer for your company and for your talent to be better. That's what you need. That's what we need over there at AEW.
All right, moving on to the next one. I
What?
got another quote. From the man himself, MJF. Seems like we're staying with AEW real quick. But what Joe did for the sport was bigger than that. Samoa Joe proved you don't have to be a massive male model bodybuilder to be a top guy in this sport. Samoa Joe broke the mold. Samoa Joe proved alternatives matter. And because of the roads Samoa Joe paved, it has allowed a man like me to stand before you today. Without a guy like Joe, there may be no AEW. Is that true? Is
I
that
don't fucking know.
I mean,
First of all,
it's a nice soundbite. I'll give it that. It's a nice soundbite. But he also said he contradicted himself based upon how he looks, right? And how Samoa Joe looks. He's actually chased the bodybuilder type of body, right? I understand he's like a shorter, stockier version of a wrestler. He's not like, the tall, daunting wrestler, let's say what Vince would like or whatever, but he's more of like an AJ Styles body frame. So I understand what he's saying, right? That he's an alternative, right? He's not the traditional Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Batista looking kind of guy, right? But at the same time, would AEW exist without Joe? Yeah, because it started and Joe was nowhere around where AEW started. So it's hilarious. It's a nice sentiment. It's a good soundbite, but it was just a good promo cutting moment. The truth, you can see the holes like Swiss cheese in what he was trying to say or the point he was trying to make. I get that he and Joe are friends and they're they have a nice little respectable rivalry. They're probably friends off air. But this face MJF, he's a villain, but he's a mark as well, right? he's entertaining in this way.
Go ahead, Dave.
at this point, MJF just loved hearing his own self speak because that was bullshit. Okay, Samoa Joe is not the example of the alternative. Oh, so and he is not the first big man. So I guess Big Van Vader wasn't shit, huh? He's the one.
True.
Big Van Vader, bitch. He's the one that went all across this fucking world and wrestled and gave it his all in the motherfucking ring.
He sure did.
We have a lot of fucking guys in this wrestling industry that didn't
Dusty
cut
Rhodes.
it, that doesn't have the body of a wrestler, but still became successful.
Dusty Rhodes.
Rikishi,
Yeah.
Yokozuna,
Right.
and
Even,
the list, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
Wrestling
the list is endless. Big bulky wrestlers, you know what I mean, Earthquake and them kind of guys, you know what I mean, it's a long list, but I feel
Wait, hold on, just one more real quick, Cam. Let me just put this out. We need to stop. Everybody can't make it to the top. Everybody can't be the that one guy. Everybody cannot be there. People need to come into this industry and learn and try to say to themselves, How can I be a part of this and make it better? How can I be a supporting cast member?
Right.
Everybody's not meant to go to the top. God
Mhm.
damn it.
We forgot. Don't forget to mention Mick Foley as well.
Right.
Hello.
I'd say this about Samoa Joe. He is a different athlete. Like he's the first guy his size, I would say, utilizing MMA skills in his wrestling, right? And where
Watch
I
like
agree with
Kevin Owens.
MJF is his greatness was not fully taken advantage of in WWE when he made it to the main roster. NXT he killed it, right? But when he got to the main roster, he probably only had like 2 title matches, right? And he should have had, in my opinion, a championship reign. I think the best championship was, well, if he had beaten Brock, that would have like floored the world, right? Like that would have been a good thing to do. But also when he went up against Kofi, I was really convinced that he was going to take it off of Kofi. You know what I mean? Because he was so dominant. He was like almost at like Mark Henry level with how he was dominating the matches and
Not about
that
Mark
run.
Henry too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with both of you guys. I think MJF was just playing to the crowd for a second because
Yeah. He in full face mode right now.
because I'm sitting here saying to myself, is Joe moving the needle? Is Joe right now moving the needle at AEW? That's the ultimate question. Is Samoa Joe really moving the needle? And the answer is no, he's not. He's not at all. You know what I mean? I give Joe a ton of credit for what he does. Joe's an incredible wrestler. However, he's not moving the needle. Joe's not putting the asses in seats. The fact that Joe was a champion in ROH and couldn't even remember what the belt was speaks volumes. Okay, like so. At the end of the day, he's not moving the needle. So the whole promo with MJF had me very confused because I was actually sitting there wondering like, what the hell is this? Like I'm like, I said, are we really playing to this audience just so we can get views? Because I didn't understand that speech. All right, moving on. Okay, so the WWE sources have indicated they're brace yourselves, fellas. Lock yourself down in the chair when I'm about to say this one.
I'm on a roller coaster.
That they're optimistic about CM Punk versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Huh? Huh? Okay. Okay. I mean, science is doing remarkable things. You know what I mean? They're reversing career-ending injuries and allowing careers to be extended in all sports. So, a Stone Cold return to having a full match, not like what he did with Kevin Owens was pretty fun. It was fun and entertaining. But he's coming back and have a full match, like a match.
Is that something that I want to see in 2024? Oh hell yeah! I do want to see that.
I
I
want
want to see it. I want to see it. Two of the most two of WWE's most rebellious talents in a squared circle and leading up to it with a microphone.
That's all I'm about to say. Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
bro.
Two
That's
of
something
the
I need to see.
polarizing WWE history, bro.
Over the weekend, they was on WWE. They was showing they had a CM Punk playlist, and one of those playlists, one of those videos, it was when Stone Cold and CM Punk met each other. That was when they was in the backstage, in the back area. I think Stone Cold was hosting that night, and that how you say it, that first meet was an interesting meet,
It
right?
was.
It's like we need to see that. I feel like that was a story that WWE held on to that never got to be told, and that's something I want to see.
I want to see it too because I believe that that this is one of the best things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I believe it's one of the best things to actually happen. Somebody gave us a fire emoji. Thank you. That's in the comments. But I think it's one of the best. is one of the best things to happen because I want to see Stone Cold come back. I love to see when he actually whooped Kevin Owens' ass, at WrestleMania. I thought that was the most entertaining thing and what have you. I thought it was fun. I thought it was great for the audience. I thought it was needed,
Yeah.
And frankly, I thought it was a good thing. I would love to see Austin return.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, if he could do it once a year, shit, I'm down for it. Because I mean, again, we talked about Mount Rushmore's earlier. He's on everyone's Mount Rushmore. So at the end of the day, why the fuck not? And also, it's more special when he does it because it's not like when The Rock comes, you see The Rock and The Rock can give you once a year, you're gonna see him and whatever. Stone Cold could go 2-3 years without even coming on WWE television. So the fact is that when you see him, it's remarkable and it's a special moment every single time.
Right, and that's a moment that's always a must see moment. Anytime Stone Cold shows himself or be involved in anything that WWE is doing at the time, it's always a must see, and I believe it's never a fail.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So speaking about this week in wrestling, we want to remember the life of Miss Elizabeth on her 63rd birthday. Rest in peace to her. Also, speaking about birthdays this week, you had a birthday there, kind sir. How was your birthday this week?
My birthday was spent on reflection. That's one of all. Always do that. And I had a good birthday week. And thanks to you, gift. I was able to go to the HOG show, House of Glory Wrestling, for those people who might not know. And if you do know, and if you were there, you probably had much of a good time as I did being there.
We definitely gonna get to that in the smoking section. I got one more story to cover. All right. Welcoming back to the show, Masquerade Cam.
What's up?
Come on, man.
All right. So also this week, since before I get to my last one, I know we discussed Sour Diesel birthday while you were gone, Cam, and we discussed because we started remembering Miss Elizabeth this week because it was her birthday as well.
Gotcha.
And another person's birthday this week that's happened to be absent from the show is Brandom
If it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. Okay.
It doesn't.
Ain't no shook hands in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Right.
All I know is the end of the line is always ready to fight. So I don't remember
that boy always ready to fight. Listen, man. Listen, I remember one time Brandom German suplex the shit out of me one time, man. Damn near broke my neck.
All right, so we want to say a big happy birthday shout out to him as well. He's spending his birthday with the family and things of that nature. So we'll see him for next week's show. So nonetheless, we're gonna get to the last one. The Rock, seven Bucks production team and Vice Studios are producing a docu-series investigating the mysterious demise of World Championship Wrestling, once the biggest wrestling company in America. Fellas, how do you feel about that?
Shit. I feel like it's probably about to be a part 2 for AEW. That's what I fucking know. But I think I like that because I want to see the perspective come from a wrestler, right? I want to see other than what we basically know WCW for filming. You know what I mean? So I want to see the behind the scenes. And I'm actually mad because it was a point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I was not a WCW guy. I wasn't. But I always tuned in for the likes of Chris Jericho, the Rey Mysterios, and the Crow sting. That was my sting. Okay, not that Joker guy. I like the Joker character. I'm not gonna lie, but I want to see the demise and the behind the scenes tellings of the reasons why WCW failed. 'Cause I wish they kept going.
I wish to as well. Go ahead, go ahead, Masquerade.
I mean, I was always like a majority WWE guy, WWF guy. Uh, I was actually hyped to see them fold. I was like, I can't believe this is really happening. But I would have liked to see Vince like still run WCW as like a separate brand, kind of like what's going on now with the NXT thing. Um, but I understand why sometimes the competition just gotta go. To see this documentary, it'll be interesting. I'll be interested to see the perspective that it takes because we've seen, I guess, different things already done on how WCW kind of folded and fell. They've had some stuff on the WWE Network for previously a couple of years ago. So it'd be interesting to see The Rock's take on it and if he has any like, I guess like sessions, where he himself is talking about it, like as a WWF guy looking on the outside. But
Exactly.
I want to see who he gets to. I want to see who he interviews and who he is like drafted for this documentary. It'll be very interesting to see how his company does it.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's more interesting because Rock wasn't in
He wasn't
WCW.
in WWE at all. I mean, he knew the wrestlers
So,
there through his dad and whatnot, but he was never there actually.
right. So I want to see what his take on that.
I want to say this. I don't know why they use the word mysterious. We kind of really know what happened here. Okay, Vince fucking Russo. Okay, we know who took down the WCW. All right, so but I'm very curious to see if we are wrong about this. I would
Right.
like to see what really happened if that is not the case. Because they said the mysterious ending of once the biggest company in the world. And I growing up, Cam made fun of me about this, about a few months back. And I was a person that watched WCW and WWE, right? Because I was, I used to love the Superstation. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna play the Christmas movie this Christmas all day on TBS. But nonetheless, that was what we what I watched. And but the WWE always had the better product until 1995, until 1997. The WCW was doing a thing with the NWO and all that good stuff. So if there is something that we missed, I would definitely like to see that because I always saw it was um, Vince Russo that brought the company down, that brought it down to its knees. Because I mean, there was a lot of ridiculous things. David Arquette becoming the champion, uh, Buff Judy Bagwell on a forklift match, um, you know, uh, the infamous 2000 Bash at the Beach, where between Hulk Hogan and
Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett, and also where Vince Russo saying you'll never see that bald-headed piece of shit in this company ever again. And he was right, because Hulk Hogan never came back. But Hulk Hogan sued and won. We didn't see that bald-headed piece of shit ever again in WCW. But it didn't make a difference because he won the lawsuit. So I am very curious to see what happened, and I will hope that Vice, since his partner with $7, also interviews Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff, and amongst others to give their take on what really happened back in 2001, and also if and also was it really true that Turner Broadcasting did not want wrestling on his product anymore? Go ahead, Cam.
I want to say I would like to see if they like could get Ted Turner or somebody who was a decision maker at Turner Sports during that time to comment or to like give their perspective of what they were funding and why did they decided that they didn't want to fund this no more.
That's what? That's a good Google to see if Ted Turner's still alive. That I don't know.
right?
That's actually a very good Google to find out if Ted Turner's still alive.
I thought he was.
But they could interview Dr. Harvey Schiller, who was the president of Turner Sports, and find out what really happened. And here's something also interesting: the merger between AOL and Time Warner goes down as the worst business merger in history. And it's not because of WCW, but it is actually considered the worst business merger in history, the AOL Time Warner merger. So that's that's very interesting. Now, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the Turnbuckle Talk. I'm proud of myself again, Masquerade Cam. Okay, I did not use the
turntable talk.
Turntable. All right,
turning them buckles.
But before I pass it over to my illustrious partner in crime, Big Daddy Cool Sour Diesel, for the smoking section. This Friday that just passed, myself, Brandom Thought, and Cam actually went to WWE Smackdown. Cam, do you want to take it away on how it was?
I would give it, as far as an overall rating, 4 stars. I give it 4 stars. The promos and the I guess non-wrestling parts of the show was the best parts of the show. How they closed the show was very entertaining. Best match of the night was that Bobby Lashley match, only because Bobby Lashley is a great worker. And the crowd was feeling Bobby. I don't think they was ready for how much love Brooklyn was giving Bobby Lashley, and especially because he's a heel. You know what I mean? They're not used to that. So that might snowball moving forward at in other cities, and you never know. Bobby might get a well-needed push that's been overdue for him.
I would agree with that. I was very surprised on how everybody took to him Friday night as well. I had a very good time. I had a very, very good time because Brandom Thought is one of the most obnoxious WWE fans known to man. And I mean, like he cut promos while we were sitting there on the floor, and to the point where he was yelling at people, yelling at other audience members, and he told a little boy, you don't know wrestling, you shouldn't come watch a match. And then there was
it little Jimmy?
Yeah, it was like some little kid, and the kid was screaming, and then he said that isn't this past your bedtime or something like that. And so we was definitely sitting there, and we were just I was lost in the sauce, and he made it extremely entertaining. So I will definitely give him that. And then also when he when he was booing Dragon Lee and trying to get the crowd to help boo Dragon Lee. While we were sitting there. No,
it wasn't. I was booing Dragon Lee too. I ain't gonna front. I was booing Dragon Lee for my sake.
we was sitting there, and I said, you don't get tired. And he was like, no, I hate him. So yeah. And then he gave Santos Escobar a round of applause. And so it was that he definitely made it very interesting. And I would agree with you that I was definitely surprised about the love that Bobby Lashley got. And also the last segment I thought was pretty good when it came to the contract signing between Randy Orton, and signing with WWE SmackDown. So that was very entertaining. All right. Now, nonetheless, so we just got to switch it all up again.
I will say this. I think the next show we should start with smoking section, only because you and SourDeez be lighting it up as soon as the show come on. So you might as well start the smoking section to start off the show, because y'all already be smoking before we get to the smoking section.
Listen. And as it seems right now, there ain't gonna be no smoking section. So, all right. So, nonetheless, Cam. All right,
sir.
So, since we are, switching it up, let's get to the undisputed countdown list.
No, it's the disputed countdown. All right, it's not undisputed. It's disputed. You got Turnbuckle Talk right, but not everything else. All right. Anyway, so let's get into it. So this week's disputed countdown, we have a list comprised of the top singles wrestlers to form a successful tag team or a beloved tag team. All right. So here we go.
Let's get it.
I do have some honorable mentions that I want to get to, and I guess we got a little time.
So goddamn honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. All right, fine, forget it. Let's go. Number 10. I think you're gonna like this one.
Actually, I want you to give the honorable mentions so we can stretch a little bit. Go ahead.
That's what I was saying. All right, let's do the honorable mentions then.
Go ahead.
All right, so honorable mentions. First honorable mention I have here. Now, before I get to this, right, I want to say this. This could have been an endless list of like 50 different tag teams, right? Because it is so many wonderful combinations of single wrestlers coming together. You just watch the SmackDown era run by Teddy Long, and he made a bunch of different tag teams of people to all get together. But anyway, right. Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, winners of the Dusty Classic. I really enjoyed that tag team.
That was a very good team.
They definitely was killing it on NXT with that tag team. This is a very recent tag team, but I've been very excited to see them work. And it's Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, the Golden Jets, over on AEW. It's one of the few bright spots.
You know what I'll give to them?
What?
I'll give to them. Chris Jericho makes that group very entertaining. He actually makes it. 100%. Yeah, his mic work. Kenny ain't the greatest on the mic, but I would definitely say Chris Jericho makes that very funny and entertaining. Who else is your honorable mention, Cam?
Just a few more. We got Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. All right, I know Chris Benoit is the person who should not be named, but
yes, we're not supposed to say
that. Can't act like his career never happened, right? And
we have to. We actually have to.
Yeah, and that tag team that him and Kurt Angle had was just they were fire. They were just super. And in turn, I'm going to mention Rey Mysterio and Edge, the team that Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit defeated to become tag team champions. Rey Mysterio and Edge was an unlikely tag team, but they were entertaining nonetheless.
They were. All
right, so I'm just do two more. X-Pac and Kane.
I hated that.
I don't know about you, but when they came together, I was like, what? But it was like the first time like you saw two like unlikely people, in my opinion, for my age at that time, come together, and it was like fun and entertaining to watch these two work, X-Pac and Kane. And that's it for the honorable mentions.
All right, so SourDeez, we're actually going into the disputed. I said undisputed before, but now it's this is the disputed countdown. So Cam said that I did so well with the Turnbuckle Talk, and I screwed up the countdown name. So just to let you know, he was doing the honorable mentions, and now we're going into the top 10 disputed countdown with Masquerade Cam.
What are these tag team?
Just to run it back for you, bro. The name of this countdown is top singles wrestlers to form a successful tag team. All right.
Okay.
All right. So at number 10, we got Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page of the Elite. They also were the AEW Tag Team Champions. At number 9,
I don't agree with that one.
You don't agree with that one?
No, I don't like.
They had like an over 200-day reign, and I'm not gonna lie. When they first came together, I was like, "How's this gonna work?" I didn't think that it was gonna work. I also didn't know much about Adam Page, and I think that tag team run let a lot of people know more about Adam Page. And then that finisher that they came up with was a fire finisher. So I really think that they sold their story really well. It was a combination of I don't remember the name.
Buckshot Lariat and the V trigger.
With the buckshot with the V trigger, and they met in the middle pretty much. It was like it was like a playoff of DIY. Because remember DIY was hot too, and they had this thing called meet in the middle. They basically did the same thing.
But I think also,
with their respective
because that title changed so much hands, I think that tag team's actually forgotten at this point. Because since then, how many times that title has changed since they've been the champion? It's been a minute.
I think since I still think they have the longest tag team title reign because there was over 200 days as a tag team champions, longer than the Bucks had it. I think the second longest reign so far was FTR.
Didn't FTR have it like a whole year, if I'm not mistaken? Like it was like a year.
Nah, FTR. The crazy part is, I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe because maybe they broke the record order. But I remember FTR had a bunch of other championships and didn't have the AEW Tag Team Championships. Then they eventually got the AEW Tag Team Championships. Remember that when they got tag team with the
but to me, I don't know why Tony allows these people to bring all these goddamn belts in here. Because to me, it's over your. Because when Kenny Omega had all those championships, that looked ridiculous. That looked
like 5 belts.
Yeah, it looked absolutely ridiculous. What's your next one, Cam?
Yeah. All right. At number 9, we got Bayley and Sasha Banks, the inaugural WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. What'd you say?
Fantastic tag team. Fantastic.
Yeah. Highly
entertaining.
Huh?
Yeah.
You believe so?
I think they were great. I think both of them were great.
Yeah.
And they had to do it during the pandemic era.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think made it even more entertaining because not only were they the women's tag team champions, they ended up holding both the SmackDown and Raw Women's Championships at the same time.
That's a fact.
So they definitely blazed the trail and set the bar for the women's tag team division, which has fallen short since then, but it's it was a great start off. Number 8, we got the DX tag team, the rebooted DX of HBK and Triple H. That to me was one of the most entertaining versions of DX's tag team run. They love pandering to the crowd, and it wasn't cheesy. It wasn't boring, right? It wasn't like, oh, okay, all right. It was just like, to me, highly entertaining. Their matches were good, even when they had to carry Shane and Vince in those battles that they had with them. I thought it was just golden. It was just firework. Plus, they also was working with Rated RKO and Jericho and all that. So that's why they made that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if that was the best version of them. I mean, I'm not gonna knock.
I mean, individually, no, but I think what makes it more memorable was the shenanigans, right? The fact that they were an entertaining entity, right? And they were just their promos and their backstage work to me was the most entertaining part of their run, because they had a lot of jobberish kind of opponents, and it's like these matches where they would just do goofy things that really wasn't wrestling. You know what I mean?
Right. But I just think that I like I said, I just that version of it, I wasn't too impressed with that. I just thought their backstage work was entertaining as hell. I think that was really what they were doing.
Yeah,
I agree. All
right. All right. So the next team on the list is we at number 7 is Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens.
Now they were entertaining.
They were
the Circle of Friends is one of the best segments to ever happen on wrestling. That was fucking entertaining.
And the list had everybody dying. Everybody dying, bro. All right. Number 6.
When Kevin Owens came out with his own list,
Yep.
Third heel on Chris Jericho.
Uh-huh.
That was amazing.
Yeah, man. The what is it? The Festival of Friendship?
Yes, the Festival of Friendship.
To me, that's like on the list of when a tag team break up, like the best heel. as far as like
This
when
tag team
Marty,
breakup.
yeah, like as far as like when Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty at the barbershop,
Uh-huh.
it gives me that
Yeah,
feel.
Let me tell you, and Mark
yeah,
Janae still
definitely.
can't come back from that. You know what I'm saying? He did try.
He tried.
Marty still
He
can't
tried.
come back from that.
If he could only turn back the hands of time, he would not have agreed to that. He would
Oh,
not
of course.
agreed to that.
If he knew that his career was gonna be over at that very moment, you know what I'm saying? He'd
It
have
was
been like,
fun.
he'd have
But
been
you
like,
know what?
this ain't it. Okay, this ain't it.
But you know what though? Like SourDeez said, not everybody could go to the top. Somebody got to accept that they're a supporter. You know what I mean?
But the thing was is that, but listen, you know, they had a few more years. The Rockers had a few more years before they actually, you know, before they went out. And that moment right then and there, that ended Marty Jannetty's career. Like it was over. It was over. Like I truly believe that story when Marty Jannetty came back in like 2006, 2007, and he needed a job so badly. I really believe that really was true.
I felt so bad for that man.
I did.
So
I truly
bad.
I
did.
did too. I did too. Also, back then I was like, I hated his name, bro. Marty Jannetty. It was so corny. You know what I mean? Shawn Michaels, it just has natural swag to it. You know what I mean? But that Marty Jannetty name, it was just
Yeah, because
I mean, what do you
thank
expect?
God,
The man used his real name. Did you want?
thank God thank God Sean didn't go with Sean Hickenbottom.
I was gonna
oh,
say
that
that.
would he would have never been
Exactly
over.
what I was
He would
gonna
have never
say.
been over. Hickenbottom? He would have never been over, bro. Oh man. All right, here we go. Number 6, moving along. It's only gonna get better. We got Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That was
Oh,
very
the 2-man power trip.
That was
What?
very short lived. That was very short. That wasn't long. That was entertaining though.
Right.
The
It
Triple H,
was a good time, not a long time. But the 2-man
Yes.
power trip was dope because they
what?
were the tag team champions and Intercontinental champion and WWF champion all at the same time. So
And when they
that was
beat the shit
definitely
out the Hardy Boys and Lita. Oh my God.
Yeah.
definitely.
Let me tell you something. Their promos was loose. Okay. The things they would say, they promos was loose. I was like, I don't know who cleared this.
Yo, the attitude was that still considered like the attitude? Yeah, it was.
That's still what they put there. Yeah.
That
Stone
era,
Cold was all attitude era, bro.
ladies and gentlemen, you had to be there if you wasn't.
I think attitude era ended when Stone Cold career retired. When Stone Cold retired. All right. The number 5 team, Rated RKO.
Incredible talent. I never liked the tag team.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both of them, but at what they did, I never liked the tag team.
I think they were an awesome heel tag team. And I think because you know we always keep having this Edge debate, but I feel like people who just didn't like Edge didn't like that tag team because of that dynamic. Even though he took a lot of the bumps for that tag team.
He did.
He took a lot of the bumps. Randy would just
shit out of
clean up.
He used to beat the living daylights out of Edge. Yeah.
All right. Number 4. I think this one might get some flack, but you know, for where they rank on the list. But the Brothers of Destruction, Undertaker and Kane. What y'all think of them at number 4?
I think that made sense, them being higher up on the list.
Okay.
But they never had such a long run with each other, right? They always end up breaking up. I think the most they ever with each other is like 6 months, if that. You know, there's never a long run.
When like the first iteration of it, or I think the prime iteration of it was during that the invasion angle where they were feuding with DDP and whoever else, and they had like unified the tag titles from WCW and WWE. You know what I mean? Undertaker was riding around on a motorcycle. I think that was the best, prime version of them. But all the times they've come together has always been very entertaining. Even when Undertaker went back to, the Lord of Darkness kind of version of Undertaker, that their tag team team ups was really good. Number 3 is, and this is my personal favorite, the Rock and Sock connection.
Yes,
to me,
that was very entertaining.
One of the most entertaining times whenever they got together. Like, I don't know the numbers, but I still feel like the Mick Foley "This Is Your Life" rock segment is still probably the highest rated segment of all time. Like, it was definitely the most memorable. You know what I mean?
It is one of the most memorable.
I think that the between the two, the entertainment value, right? It was off the chain. Those two were completely funny together. They had very bad ring chemistry, but at the same token, them together was very entertaining. Very entertaining.
I don't know. I feel like after that Hell in a Cell match, Mick Foley was never the same because he always moved like he's injured.
Yeah.
Right. Like even when Mick Foley looked like he's running at top speed, he looked like he's running at like 3 miles an hour. Like very fast.
I'll get there one day.
Right. Exactly.
Hold on.
Yo, when the Rock let him through the people's elbow, I was like, what is going on? His timing is off. Everything was horrible.
I told you that their ring chemistry was horrible, but them two on the mic together, it is hilarious. Go ahead, Cam.
Definitely. Now, this one for me is a nostalgic act because when I was a little kid,
don't say the Mega Powers, please.
I'm sorry.
Don't say the Mega Powers.
The Mega Powers. So the Macho Man was my guy, bro. Like,
Macho Man was my guy too.
And Macho Man together with Miss Elizabeth, it was my thing, man. I couldn't help it. I was always a macho guy. Like, I didn't like Hulk. I was like, fine, I'll tolerate him. You know what I mean? But that run was a influential run in my opinion. Like, seeing Macho Man just doing his thing, being as magical as he was, bigger than life, in my opinion. That Mega Powers was just awesome.
All right, what you got for number 1?
All right, number 1, they rarely got together, but when they got together, it was just magic. And number 1 tag team of single wrestlers to come together and form a tag team was The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Again, another group, bad chemistry in the ring, funny as hell on the mic.
Exactly.
Wait, The Rock and Stone Cold was a tag team?
Yeah. They tag team. Yeah, they tag team together a few times. Like it was like a couple years apart, but it's always when they had like a big pay-per-view coming up, or they were both faces and they were going against other heels or other rivals or whatever the case is. So it's not like they had a tag team championship run or anything like that, but they definitely tag teamed together a few times, and it was pretty awesome.
Well, why didn't you put on the list The Rock, Stone Cold and The Undertaker? They were tag team champions.
That's what I'm saying. If I had more than just 10 slots, then I would have put them. I told you it could have been an endless amount.
But remember that one, we kept trying to, like, Undertaker kept trying to figure out, is Stone Cold really on his side or not? Like, that was like a big deal, And then when Stone Cold gave him the beer, and then after, then we thought that, that everything was going to be okay, and it definitely was not okay.
Yeah, but you know what? Look, audience, if y'all got your own list, please put it in the comments. Let us know what you think. Who would you keep on the list? Who would you take out? You know what I mean? Let's see what you can come up with.
All right. Thank you, Masquerade. Okay, so now we're getting down to the smoking section with the lyrical, spiritual, fictional, and all that good stuff.
Aluminum bars.
Exactly. 10-time Central and Prospect Park champion.
Don't forget Prospect.
Did you ever wrestle at Wingate Park? Did you ever wrestle there?
Listen, Wingate Park was like my Chicago. All right. Of course I wrestled there. I wrestled all over the place.
Got you.
Jimmy Pockets.
Listen, if you have a park in your neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen, I was there.
You said the promoter was named Jimmy Pockets.
Jimmy Pockets.
Yes.
Allegedly, wasn't there a big Rucker Park event that y'all did? Didn't y'all do an event at the Rucker?
Listen, we were supposed to get there, but Jimmy Pockets ran off with all our pockets. Okay. I mean, one day I stepped in the spot. My homeboy told me this how I knew I lost it, man. My homeboys told me, he seen me, he said, "Nice sweatpants. How come you ain't got no pockets?" Jimmy took them. He took them.
Jimmy Pockets.
You know where? He's somewhere in Miami on the beach. It's just loving life right now.
Wherever he may be.
Wherever he may be. Fuck you, Jimmy Pockets. I hope you got a hole in yours. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties and pardon the interruptions. As you can see, you might, for the listeners out there, this doesn't benefit you because you just you got the audio. But for my visual people out there, I'm sorry. So just bear with me. I know you want to see this handsome face and all that. I know you want to see me, but I'm sorry. I tried my best.
You need profile pictures for when we off camera.
just rock with us, and I appreciate y'all. So we're gonna get right into it, right? I'm gonna tell you the fun parts later. After the fun parts matters later. So we want to get into it. We seen Logan Paul has made his return back, ladies and gentlemen. He has made his return back to SmackDown. And for those of you who don't know, Logan Paul is our United States champion. Yes, he is. So now that he's back, they're setting up this tournament, United States champion tournament. So when we find out who the winner will face Logan Paul. And we have in that tournament, we have Santos Escobar, Bobby Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
We also have the likes of, hold on, let me see what else. What's this on the list? No, pass it.
Kevin Owens.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm playing. Kevin Owens, Austin Theory, Dragon Lee, Grayson Waller, and NXT call-up. We don't know. Don't even know if it's a call-up, but my guess is a call-up. So my thing is, and this is interesting. This is really interesting. I like where they're going with this. But I feel like in some ways, this is an answer to what AEW is doing over there with their tournament, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I have two questions to pose to my guys, my fellow colleagues right here, my cast members, and to the listeners and viewers out there. All right. Who do you think? Well, I have three answers here. Questions. Who do you think is going to be the winner of this tournament? Who do you think is going to be the call-up? And is this a better tournament than the Continental Tournament that AEW is having? Fellas, what are your thoughts? What is your opinions and predictions?
MashOut, you want to go first?
Yeah. I'm going to say Kevin Owens, Carmelo Hayes, and I don't even remember who's in the tournament, the Continental Championship. So at the end of the day, those are. So I would have to say the WWE's is more memorable because I don't even know what the status of that tournament is.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I say the winner of this tournament, it should be Kevin Owens, right? But I'm secretly rooting for Braun Breaker to get called up, and then surprise with that's who I think should get called, because he's overdue for a call up, to be honest. Right, like they kind of just have him just beating people up down in NXT now that he's not champion. But that's what I think. I think it would be such a shell shock, and I don't know what Logan's like long-term commitments is, and if his commitment is not that long, then we should put it on a rising star coming up. You know what I mean? Having Kevin Owens take the championship would be nice, but it would serve better if Logan Paul defeats Kevin Owens to legitimize Logan Paul's reign, if his reign's gonna last a little longer. But if he's on his way out, then let's have somebody come up to be a star, maybe Karrion Kross, maybe Braun Breaker, if that's the way they call up from NXT. And I think which tournament is the better tournament? Honestly, I think WWE's tournament is just going to get more recognition just because it's WWE. But I do like AEW's tournament a little bit better. I like the people in AEW's tournament. I like the format of the round robin thing, and the storylines they got interweaved in. Well, their tournament's kicked off now for a few weeks, so that the storylines they got interweaved into it is going pretty good. And I wish Swerve Strickland the best. I hope he wins that tournament.
Okay, so I'm gonna add my thoughts and opinions and my views. No point intended, because you can't see me. I think, and thank you for name dropping, because Karrion Kross is in that tournament as well. I think Kevin Owens is going to win. I believe the NXT call up will be Wesley. Although I would like to see Braun Breaker. That was a good one. And I would like to see Carmelo Hayes. But I believe it's Wesley. And would I feel like which is the best tournament to me? Although I'm not gonna lie, I'm not keeping up, but I have seen some of the matches, the ones that I like. I believe AEW's tournament is better. Because I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we've been here before. We know what WWE does when they do their tournaments. So if this is going to be like any other bullshit that they do, then I don't necessarily care for it. And it has to be some stories made in there, just as well as like how you say they're doing with AEW, right? So this is Karrion Kross coming back wrestling. We haven't seen him in a while. So I hope they can make a story out of him within that tournament, do something with him. Santos Escobar. Keep creating him into being a good heel and getting some TV time and doing what he needs to do to get over as a heel. And I believe this will just create for Kevin Owens to like possibly put over Logan Paul. Now Logan Paul, I believe his commitment to WWE is probably like quite like a long one, because he retired from boxing. So I think he's gonna be there for a little while.
We got a comment from the audience.
All right.
Says, fuck it, Austin Theory face turn.
Oh, Austin Theory face turn? Interesting. But I kind of like what they're doing with him and Grayson Waller as heels. And I think if we can get Logan Paul on board with that, it will go to the moon, because these will be all three guys that's really hated throughout the SmackDown roster. So moving on to the next not the next segment, but the next thing in the smoking section. It has been reported that Kevin Owens has injured himself during his past match with Grayson Waller. They said he did something with a metacarpal. So I believe, and I looked it up, I googled it, folks, because I am not no fucking doctor. Okay, I should have. I was trying to ask Britt Breaker, but she's a DMD, so she wouldn't know this. So it has something to do with the hand. So he wound up injuring his hand, which I think is like a work to go in with the
Yeah, I think that's a work too.
to go against Logan Paul. So right there, we already know Kevin Owens is going to be the winner. So what you guys think about that? Like, do you think it's a work? Is it real? What you think?
I think it's a work.
Uh,
I think it is because I'm like, you know, it probably is something to get him out of the tournament, but I think it's a work. I think that, uh, you know, KO, you know, KO maybe they thought that he doesn't need to be in this tournament. I mean, that's a possibility, but I definitely think it's a work. Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's real, man. I'm gonna say it's real because I think he's been doing a lot of punching people's faces, you know. So he might have overworked his punching hand, you know. And I think that's the same muscle, you know. When you get carpal tunnel syndrome, that's all up in here. You know what I mean? That's all up in here. So you could easily injure this by punching people in the face. You know what I mean? So it's for real.
It's a fucking work. It's gonna be some shit for him
That's
to
what
get back in the tournament. He does something with his hand because Logan Paul has that titanium knockout punch in his hand, so that can. Oh, okay, I like that. Look at me, look at me.
Man,
Oh,
I
I
got
can
you,
see
man.
that. So I think it's a work, and I just want to see Kevin. I just want to see them do something with Kevin Owens.
Got
He needs a title. Kevin hasn't have a singles title in what five
years.
Umpteen
years.
years, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I think it's been
He
over
does call
five.
himself the prize fighter.
Yeah, he's a prize fighter. He needs to be fighting for those prizes. He needs to get a fucking title on his waist, shoulder, whatever he needs to do.
Yeah.
And if he does get the United States Championship, I don't want to see him go back into the face of America. I don't want to see that. See his big burly ass face
Nah, that
of
was a
my
funny angle when he did that. The face of America, he's Canadian. That joint was hilarious.
Nah, it was, but it was.
Nah, but
Um,
he's you know.
well, moving on. Um, what else? I don't think I really have any much more to say any further to discuss. I just want to get into my fun talk with you guys, right?
Get it?
Listen, man. So I had a fucking hell of a time at House of Glory Wrestling. That's HOG. Um, it was on past Friday. They had a venue called the Darkest Hour. I got there, seen a match. It was with Encore versus Cash Flow. Now, I don't know if you people heard of HOG, House of Glory Wrestling. If you haven't, please look into them. And it's just more than AEW, TNA, and WWE out there. This is an independent company. They have great talent working for them, and I think they should be watched. They have a subscription channel now. They own a subscription channel called Premier Network. So if you're interested, check that out. But anyway, nonetheless. So I get there, right? I'm watching Encore and Cash Flow battle it out, having one heck of a fucking match. Um, Cash Flow was the winner of the evening, and out comes this masked man from the crowd. He comes from the crowd and he attacks Encore, just beating his ass. Then he reveals himself. You know who he was?
Who was he?
Oh man, it was that guy, our
Who's
guy,
that? Who's that?
Jay Bougie.
Ah,
What?
damn.
Yeah, man, Jay Bougie.
Jay
He arrived.
Boosh.
Yeah, man, he arrived on the scene, man. Did that man dirty, man. Hit him
Oh
with
my
that
goodness.
cutter. Hit him with his finisher. It was a man. He revealed himself. The people went wild. It was a great match. It was a great show. And then what other match I was there for? Oh, Carlos Ramirez versus Charles Mason.
Okay, tell us about that one.
Well, Charles Carlos Ramirez, he's like to me, I don't know about it. This is my opinion, my view on things. He's like their Roman Reigns. This
Mm.
guy has a great, great look. Great look. Hell of a performer. Uh Battling it out with Charles Mason. He's one hell of a performer as well. They fought for the this title they have called the Crown Jewel Championship. That title was on the line, and that is a pretty championship. That is a pretty belt. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have to go in there. I'm gonna have to go in there, shop, and get it. Yeah.
I thought you was actually gonna go in and try to become a part of the talent.
Listen,
I mean, you are coming in as a 10-time champion. You probably
listen, man.
automatically get a title shot.
We ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't gonna
Yeah,
talk about
wait.
it.
I don't
Coming in
think
at
we
6'7",
should. I really don't
weighing
think we should.
200 and
You just added another inch to his height too. This is very confusing. This is getting
man.
extremely confusing.
Who knows? Listen, who knows? You might see me come out one day. I might be like that boy Jay Bougie, come out the crowd and hit somebody in the head with something.
Would
No
you
hit with
That's not happening. You ain't gonna be running out no crowd.
Listen,
Okay?
listen. I will parkour my ass into that ring. All right.
That's right. That's right.
I've been doing some parkour training. I can do it. I
Okay.
can hop over that rail.
I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you to it.
But anyway, they fought for the title. It was a regular match. It wound up going into like a double count out.
What?
Yeah, and one of the officials from the back, he came out. He said, "We're not ending this like that. We're not doing that. So what we're gonna need for this match to continue. And this here now, ladies and gentlemen, it became a no disqualification, false count anywhere match. These guys brought it all over the goddamn place. I mean, they're jumping off the thing. He's getting. I mean, if for those of you who follow me, follow the podcast, you might have seen it in the stories. If not, I'll throw it up there again. You can take a look for yourself. I had a great time. I got to see for the very first time perform Isaiah Swerve Strickland. He was in the
Okay. How was that?
he battled against another rising star, Speedboat Mike Bailey.
What?
He's a
You gotta come with a better name than that.
Speedboat, not Steamboat. Speedboat.
yeah, not Steamboat, Speedboat. Speedboat.
You gotta come with a better name than that. I don't like that speedboat. I don't like that.
Moving across the water, remember?
What is the way?
Remember Hogan had that speedboat? What was it? Thunder? Remember that TV show?
Yo, that's not a name I wouldn't want that name, Speedboat.
You have to see he recently wrestled Will Ospreay at the last TNA event, and they put on a heck of a show. So he's a rising star. He's somebody to look out for. Him and Swerve put on one heck of a fucking match, bro. And if I wasn't a fan of Swerve, say that again.
They put on a clinic.
Yeah, one hell of a clinic. And if I wasn't a Swerve fan that night, before, I became one that night. He's one heck of a fucking performer, bro. He did his thing.
I think his entrance music could be better though. I ain't gonna lie.
Say that again.
I think his entrance music could be better. Like the intro is dope, but when they get to when I swerve, when I swerve,
bro. You know he had Prince Nana with him. Prince Nana in the building.
Of course.
You know, he do his dance. He was doing his dancing team. It was a good show. Mike Santana taking on Matt Cardona for the HOG championship. That's their heavyweight title for that promotion.
Now, do we have an and still, or do we have an and new?
It was an and new.
And oh shit.
And new HOG champion, House of Glory wrestling champion was Mike Santana. a great match. And I was interested in seeing because I'm like, I wonder if he's going to take that over to AEW. You know, AEW like putting everybody's title on the
Right.
motherfuckers. So
That would be big for HOG though. If
that would
he's
be a
allowed.
big one for HOG. So I'm hoping that happens. It was I had a great time. Thank you to my cast member, MashOut. You know, I appreciate that, King.
No
Um,
problem, my brother.
that was a great birthday present for me. And if you people are not into seeing independent wrestling, I recommend that you get into it. Okay,
Yeah,
I mean this was taking place the same night as
SmackDown.
SmackDown, and this to me this was like a better show for me because it was a live feel. I'm in there with a whole bunch of fucking fans,
Right.
hardcore fans at that. It was a great feeling. I had a great time,
Yeah, I
and
had no
that
commercial breaks.
no, they give you an intermission. You know what I mean? We get an intermission, so you know what I
Right.
mean. It was a
I
great. It
think
was a great.
I think me and Mash, I was talking earlier off air about like the enjoyability of the show could have been better without the extended delays, which was the commercial breaks.
Yes.
Mhm.
SmackDown, and I guess they try to help pass the time. They aired the commercials that were playing because they,
Right.
I noticed they tend to run them in between the intros of the wrestlers entering, right? And then I'm sure during some of the matches they had commercial breaks, but we didn't really know because we were in there enjoying the match. But like,
Right.
yeah, that aspect of it is a little drawn out.
I prefer the pay-per-view, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. SourDeez, how long was the show at HOG?
Oh my gosh. Well, let's just say, what time WrestleMania goes off? That was a long fucking show, and mind
Nice.
you, I was standing up. I had my seats, but I was like, when you get there late, I ain't trying to go mix through everybody, so I'm like, I'm gonna just stand up with the people. You
Mm.
know, I had a great time. The show was about 4 hours. It started at 8, ended at 12.
Well,
Nice.
all right. All right. So that is it for the smoking section, sir. Or you got one more?
Nah, I put the blunt out.
That's what's up. All right. So we came and we saw and we conquered this evening. All right. So nonetheless, let's go into our no, sir. Let's still go. No, sir, Cameron. All right. Let's go into our final thoughts. All right, who wants to go?
Shit.
Yeah. Final thoughts and wrestler of the week, all roll up in one. Unless y'all got time, we can go into a topic. If y'all got time, I got time.
I got some thoughts, man. What we doing? What we doing? All right, so here we go. I'm gonna pick my wrestler of the week. I'll be honest, I'm a little biased, you know what I mean, because Brooklyn love that man. You know what I mean? I've been rooting for this dude since forever. You know what I mean? So my wrestler of the week is Bobby Lashley. That's who my wrestler of the week is. If you saw SmackDown, if you was at the show, you know Brooklyn's loving on Bobby strong. You know what I mean? So
They gave it up for him crazy.
we about to see what Bobby about to do. I'm gonna give an honorable mention though to Dante Martin, who made his return this week back over in AEW. Came back again, but I don't know that.
Ladies,
If y'all seen what happened to Dante Martin several months back, and he totally broke his
one?
foot.
That's what you got to name the one in particular.
His ankle foot broken injury where it was straight and then it went backwards. It was just like
you're seeing the worst than the neck.
You know what? I'm gonna take your word on the neck. I ain't gonna go look it up. I heard about it, but I ain't never seen it. So look, that foot thing, like it totally disconnected and all that. I was just like, whatever. But he came back, put on a pretty match.
Welcome back, Dante Martin, and we see you again in another year.
Please stay healthy. He's a little bit he's a little bit more brolic now too. He filled up a little bit in his off time. You know,
he ain't got no choice. The man been sitting home.
He probably needs to go to NXT. He needs to leave AEW, bro, because they keep hurting him.
He probably just kept getting injured because his ass was so fucking puny, frail
Yeah.
ass, LeVar Ball looking ass in the face ass boy.
Ball. You mean Mello? Which one?
All of them,
All of
them
Ball?
white ass boys.
It's bad.
Oh man! All right, my final thought of the week, man. Always keep moving, always keep shaking, because you never know where life is going to take you.
All right. Masquerade Cam, you did your thing as usual. Big Daddy Cool Sour Deal, what you got?
Okay, I'm sorry for this John Cena segment of mine, because you can't see me.
Because you can't see it.
My wrestler of the week is my guy, Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. And I have an honorable mention. He's not a wrestler. But my wrestling move of the week is by T.I. Because when he choked the fuck out of his son, it was very well deserved. I loved it. Choke that little. See, this is these little light skinned motherfuckers.
Wait, that was this week? I thought that was the week before.
Well, listen, I forgot to mention him last week, so I'm going to mention T.I. Okay.
Well, you also could have. Well, this week, remember, T.I. went to the club that promoted him and his son. All right, to be there, and he confronted the club manager, the promoter, and the manager, and threatened to beat them up. So,
yeah, see, I have to give it to T.I. because he's doing
T.I.
very.
Like 5'6"?
But T.I. is doing some real good promo work. Okay.
Yeah.
T.I. is 5'6", but let's not forget he swung at Money Floyd Mayweather. Okay.
I get this. He ain't scared. He ain't shook.
He needs to be with his size. He needs to be.
T.I. is the CM Punk. T.I. is the CM Punk of hip-hop.
You know what?
You know, I don't even know. I don't even know how to respond to that.
And listen, and that is the truth. Okay.
Listen, you just gotta with that last line you just said, you just gotta leave it there and let it marinate, because I didn't even know how to come back from that.
SourDeez is commentator of the week, bro. He's commentator of the week.
Yeah, because I just was lost in the sauce with that one.
Listen, I'm the best. I'm the best in the ring, the best on a microphone, even at commentary.
Not even close.
T.I. is the CM Punk of hip hop. Wow.
Yo, we gonna put that on a t-shirt, bro.
What's your final thought, D?
Oh man, my final thought is everybody ain't your day one. All right. Don't let that shit confuse you when you hear that shit. Because day one to them means the day they started fucking using you. That was the first day they recognized that you wasn't the one. So all that day one shit, dead it.
You know, I just realized your shit is always personal. You never like, it's never like anything that's like simple where, you know, it's like, rose are red, violets are blue, like nothing like that. It's always like something dark. You know
okay,
like,
here we go.
Roses
are red, violets are blue. I don't give a damn about you.
Yeah. Wait, like the other weekend, you told me that the other weekend, I think the other show you said everybody's not family or something like that. You know.
Hey,
but it's helpful though. It may not be for everybody.
Because you got to understand this. And plus, people have to hear this because we are in the holiday seasons, and some people probably feel something like that. They probably not fucking with their family. They're not fucking with so-called friends and things like that of that nature, and probably lonely. So I have to be the voice for those people. I have to bring it to them. There's real life situations going on out there.
It sounds like it. It sounds like
it's real life shit happening out there, man.
You're definitely scaring the shit out of me. So yeah.
Hey man, it's all a work.
No, I know. So
we see working.
I'm gonna go with my wrestler of the week just to piggyback off of SourDeez, because that was mine that I wanted to say, was Swerve Strickland for coming out to Brooklyn this week, to do his thing at Hog Wrestling. So I thought that was an amazing thing is, and I'm a big fan of Swerve anyway. I would love to see him as the AEW World Champion. Hopefully we see sometime in 2024 after MJF finally loses the belt. Now, do remember to like, share, and subscribe to Three Amigos Podcast on all your favorite social media and where you get your local podcast from, and also on YouTube, right? Because every Monday we drop the show so everybody can see what's going on. My final thought is it's December. We only have T-minus 30 days to get this right before 2024 come in. So we got to make sure we go through all our goals, set them for 2024, and we're going to execute on January 1st. All right, guys, that's about it for the evening. Fellas, another great show came to a close. I'm excited, and we're looking forward to everybody having a great week, and we'll see you next week.
T.I. is the CM Punk of hip-hop.
Here we go. Deuces.